And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you are in this world today. Welcome to New York, living world of darkness. We set this scene um, in the Ottendorf Library, recently reopened after a fire was responsible for closing the gates of this fine library for several months in order for restorations, repairs, and everything to be done. It's been a week or so now or a week, a few days that the library is reopened, and actually its rightful owner, Rose, is really happy that she has her own library back. Ski Seats have a special bond with their libraries. This particular library, a old red-brown colored building, was actually not that far away from New York City University. It's just a few blocks away. But still, that's not why we are here tonight. The, uh, the library is about to close down. There are still a few people around, but they are, well, politely shown to the proper exits of this library. Um, Most of them are downstairs, where you have rows upon rows of tables, books, magazines, and everything. But there's also a section on the first floor which has even more books, all kinds of scientific books, geography, history. And finally, we find ourselves at the herbology department, where Rose, who was already up, was actually walking around on the first floor and noticing someone sitting in that section still, not really appearing to make any haste of leaving the library. Instead, we begin.
Alex seems to have 6 different books open and is making notes very rushedly and hurriedly. If anyone checks what he's writing on, there's several different plants books he's got for herbology. Most of the plants have healing properties, possibly, depending on the mixtures and stuff like that. However, there are other possibilities with these combinations of herbs that he has open. His nose is just down writing as fast as he can.
And Rose notices that this person is not yet, doesn't even appear to be making any haste, doesn't even seem to notice that a closing time is actually already, well, it's upon them. A few more minutes. Normally, she's not the one bouncing others out, but seeing as this person appears to be the only one left on the first floor, and Rose not really in the mood to have a mortal locked up in her library all night. She quickly checks to see if the veil that she always uses when she is somewhere where she could meet humans is in place, so that it hides her face, and make sure that her cloak is pulled up properly and that it's closed properly, because underneath that cloak, as most of you will know by now, there are some very interesting symbols to be found. And she will activate her level 1 Mythosaria power, the Folderol, which will allow her to detect any lies, should that be necessary. And she will then walk up to the man sitting at the table, coughing politely just to get his attention.
I am just need a few more minutes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to rush this. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Hi.
Sir, might I remind you that closing time was, well, will be in 30 seconds.
Okay. Can you give me 15 seconds and it'll be out of your hair?
Well, since you weren't in my hair to begin with, but you're sitting at a table. Are there any books I can already place back to their
Uh,
spots?
that stack of 12 over there. Um, she'll notice he's kind of rubbing his left hand, which is off color from the rest of his body. And I need to make a roll real fast. Success, success, yay! And he seems to be close his eyes for a second and thank you. I am so sorry about this. I'll get this done as quickly as I can. And just starts writing at a very feverish pace, not even looking at the paper, just almost just going.
Rose will, she'll notice the off-colored hand, but she, at this point, doesn't really say anything about it. Doesn't, I mean, it's an oddity, but then again, Rose of all people is pretty well known with the concept of being an oddity, so she will walk over to the pile of books and starts replacing them on the shelves, uh, exactly the place where Alex got them. And you return probably more quicker than Alex would have expected any librarian to be this fast. Apparently, this person, who kind of looks weird, probably if you would have been looking, because of the veil and cloak. Apparently, she really wants to go home fast.
He'll look up at her, I'm sorry, and his hand is still writing stuff. It's clear, it's precise, he just looks and flips a piece of paper and continues writing. She'll notice in the time since she left and came back, he's gone through 6 pieces of papers that way.
Hmm, that's interesting. Um, at that point, she will probably, yeah, she would activate her face sight, because no mortal, as far as she knows, writes as fast. Someone with celerity might, but that wouldn't make them an ordinary mortal. And she, especially after what happened a few nights ago, is pretty wary, so she'll activate the face sight, which allows her to see any form of magic except undead magic, so no vampiric magic, but she will see anything from fairies, mages, werewolves. And she will then again kind of cough for a moment. She's like, well, it's now 1 minute and 20 seconds after closing time, so I would suggest you would leave now.
He will stop writing. I do apologize about this. I don't mean to be a bother. It's just I got some stuff going down and I needed to do some notes and stuff like that.
Tomorrow the library will be open again at 9.
Tomorrow might be too late. But no, thank you. This library is great. I love it. I'm glad it's back open, and you have very extensive knowledge of a lot of things here that I could use. So, um, out of character, does she need to roll for that sight or not?
Nope. Nope.
Cool. There is magic around him, on him, in him.
That's interesting because Rose has never before seen mage's magic, so she wouldn't recognize it as such. But is interesting, a new form of magic. And it's like that's something new and an oddity to her. And she can't help herself. This is a riddle that needs to be solved, and she kind of bends forward, and she's still veiled, so it would be rather weird, but she's almost like she's studying you, becoming, or like getting very close into your face, almost.
I'm, he'll start packing things up. I'm sorry.
Hmm. Who are you?
Alex Winterborn.
What are you doing in my library?
Research. I own the Green Glades Farmers Market in Brooklyn.
I see. And she glances over at the books. Hmm. I see you are interested in herbs.
Very much so.
I have a friend of mine who is very into any kind of knowledge regarding nature. Hmm. You are more than. You're an interesting individual.
Thank you. He'll take his hand and flip it like this, and there's a business card in his hand, and he'll hand it to you. If your friend needs anything herbal type, gardening accessories and things, here's my card.
Hmm. See. I'll give it to her. She might actually be interested.
We open at 4 a.m. and we close at about 10 p.m. So,
Interesting. Opening times. How come?
well, a lot of the farmers come into the city early so they can get their wares done and stuff like that. And I've got a small plot of land next to my shop that's open, and I bought it, and we pretty much have a farmers market there. So
Hmm.
that it is that, and it's New York, the city that doesn't sleep.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
Though
and he'll start packing his stuff in his backpack. Uh,
it's okay. You can stay a little longer, but indulge me with some questions, please.
he'll look around and try to see if notice that there's any other people there. It's like, okay.
Nope, don't see anyone. And actually, what you'll see, since they've been talking for a while now, is that like you can look onto the floor below you, like the first floor,
Yeah.
and you will see that the main lights have gone off by now.
I am at your indulgence.
Hmm. And Rose will actually walk away for a moment, checking downstairs, seeing if there are any of the employees left, and she'll wave as she sees one of them. And if Alex would look, he would see that her actually every piece of skin that she has is covered. And Rose will she'll make some comment like, "Yes, I'll see you tomorrow around this time, Jessica. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Good night." And you'll hear a door closing, and then there's nothing but silence in the library. Rose just turns around, faces Alex again. So, now we can talk. You wanted to stay longer, right? Take your time.
Thank you. He'll take his paper out and pencil, couple pencils. Continue to writing while looking at her. You have
Rose,
questions? I have answers.
Rose actually won't say anything until you are actually done, because polite as she is, she'll give you your time before she will interrupt you on your apparently so important work. So there might even a few hours pass, that's up to you, but she'll wait. And in the meanwhile, she just kind of walk around the table, sit down, look at you again,
About
stare
15
again.
minutes later, he'll set the pencil down, fold his hands together. Done. And thank you. Your hospitality is greatly appreciated.
Hi, thank you. I've never seen such interesting flows around a person.
You ask questions, I'll answer them.
Hmm. What are you?
Magic.
I can tell, but it's different magic.
Something you've never seen before.
Something I've never seen before. Something interesting.
Well, how detailed do you want the answers?
I want all the answers.
Are you sure you can handle all the answers?
You can try me. What would happen if I can't handle the answers?
That's on you. I
Well,
am not a violent person.
apparently you have an idea.
Yeah, kinda.
So, what would happen according to your ideas, according to your mind?
Well, depending on what you are, which if you ever wish to discuss that, tell me what that is, and that's fine. At your leisure. I'm not forcing it. However, you may have millions upon millions of questions for me. Some of them I can answer, some of them I can't.
I have all night.
Interesting. Very well. Let us begin. I am a true mage.
A mage. But you're not like the ones who are not that far away from here. You're different.
I'm old. Life seeps through me.
I see. Mm, so you are a mage of life, I take it.
Yes, I am.
Hmm. I didn't know that the mage is differentiated. Well, then again, I didn't know much about mages, other than they were around. And they have these beautiful energies hanging around them.
Thank you.
Life mage, farmer mage. Let's no longer be impolite. My name is Rose. I own this library. And she'll extend a gloved hand.
I'll extend a hand and shake her hand. Alex.
Actually, what you do notice, I mean, it's not like you. What you do notice is that this figure, this woman, is actually quite tall and very willowy. She's like 6 foot tall. It's something that I should have mentioned before, but kind of forgot.
That's all good. Alex Winterbourne. Pleasure to meet you.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I don't see many of your specific kinds that often in here.
You have a very vast library with many textbooks that I would love to have copies of.
Well, I've been around here for a long time.
And I can honestly say, with the length of time that I've been alive, you have books that make me jealous.
Well, even before I was around, this library was taken care of by my family. But what was your problem? You were looking for something with herbs. Is there something the matter, Mr. Alex Winterbourne? Life mage, farmer mage.
I want to be able to reverse a curse.
To be able to reverse a curse. And might I be as bold to ask as what brought this curse along? Where did this curse origin from?
That I couldn't tell you where it originated from. I don't know much about how the curse started or why it started or what caused it. But if one of my friends gets this curse upon them, I want to be able to change them back.
And what is the nature of said curse? What do you know about it?
I know it technically kills the individual, but in killing them, changes them into something else.
It's an interesting riddle you're facing there, and you're planning to solve this with herbs.
Possibly.
I see. Well, maybe I can help you. I have some knowledge when it comes to curses or any other occult business. But then I would need to know more. And I can understand that you are not yet willing to tell me much.
I want to turn vampires human again.
You what?
Yep.
I see. Well, there's an interesting thought.
You ask questions, I give you answers.
Well, you give me answers that lead to more questions indeed. But that seems to be the way of things. There are always more questions. The quest for answers will never stop, I think. So, questions that are raised at this moment. Why? Why would you try to achieve something like that?
If one of my friends gets turned against their will, I want to be able to bring them back.
So, this is a precaution.
Yes.
There are no events that triggered this.
Yeah. No, there's a rumor spreading around a bunch of people I know.
A rumor?
Yeah.
Well, I love a rumor from time to time.
A couple of my friends want to get back at the people that attacked New York the other day.
Ah, those people.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen part of that attack. I was there. But what are they gaining out of that?
You know, the more and more I've had a chance to calm down and think about the situation, I don't know.
This particular group of vampires, they are in a way relentless. They do not stop. You may have powerful friends. I do not know what Image and his friends can do, but have you ever seen how ants work and how ants kill? Even bigger creatures than themselves. I think that is a fine comparison to the specific group. These kindreds, well, these vampires, I'm sorry, they, if they can't win, they'll make more soldiers. They will continue to make more soldiers. You'll be facing 5 of them the one night, and 20 of them the next, all young, all craving for blood. And of those 20, maybe again 5 survive, which will leave you in the following night with 30 or 40, and so on and so forth. If you're doing this to prevent any lives lost, and these people are no longer in New York. Actually, did you tell her that? Because, for fuck's sake, I know that Rose doesn't know that.
No.
Oh, in that case, nope, rewinding, no matter. But still, right, where were I? I'm terribly sorry about that. Wow, it's the first time. Well, first time for everything. But that's how they work, and that means that New York will soon know a lot more vampires than they knew before. and a lot less humans.
Which is one of the reasons why I want to perfect this.
I don't think you can save all of them if you are so willing to go into this war, which you, I think, barely know anything about.
As much as it hurts me to say it, I think we should just leave them alone. I don't know if they're going to do this again, but
And as much as I hate to admit it, but I think that you are right. But who am I to argue with a powerful mage? What happened in that street was horrible, and there was little I could do to stop it until a big dog distracted them. And that's when I could finally help a little. I saw everything that happened there. Well, not everything, but I saw what it did to the humans around the area. I saw the bodies and everything, of course. This can be prevented by a decent defense. I do not think that this could necessarily be prevented by a retaliation or a revenge.
the thing is, if we revenge, then they revenge for our revenge, and so on and so forth, and it escalates to a point where it's all out open war. I,
Exactly.
I can't have that in my garden.
No one can have that in their garden. No one can have that anywhere. But still, your research is an interesting one. Hmm. If there's anything I can do to help you with that, I would be rather interested to see if you can actually find something.
You have my number, unless you need another business card to keep it for yourself.
No, no, I don't need that. No, the veiled figure kind of stands up from the table again, and she'll walk over to the balustrade of the second floor, just looking down, and then she turns back around. She's like, I completely forgot. Is there anything can I pour you a drink? Can make, I think I can make coffee or tea or
Coffee
let
works.
me know what they have in the employees lounge. I'll have a look. Just take your time. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah, Rose will go down and she'll disappear out of your sight. Mm, and she will, after 10 minutes, if Alex wants to do something in between, just give me a call.
Um, while she's gone, Alex is just reading through some of the books.
hmm what you notice is that um, well, you probably stick mainly to herbology, but just for future things, what you notice is that any occult knowledge or anything remotely coming close to that, as soon as you actually find few books of that in the library itself, and when you read it, you will realize that it's absolutely bullshit. This library seems to be very poor on occult knowledge.
Gee, I wonder why.
No idea, no idea. Anyway, after about 10 minutes, well, make it 15, Rose will come back carrying a tray. On the tray, you will find a thermos flask, a cup. You'll find milk, sugar, and a plate of cookies. And next to all that, you will see a glass with what appears to be red wine in it. And Rose will put everything on the table, hand you the coffee, and asks if you want milk or sugar with it or in it.
Please. Thank you.
And she will sit down, taking the crystal glass for herself as she extends a plate of cookies. I found these. I hope they are suitable.
That'll be fine. Thank you. He'll take one and eat it.
So, besides taking revenge for mortals and finding research or looking for a way to turn vampires into humans again, what else do you do on a daily basis?
I teach. I train.
Mm,
I sell.
a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher of what exactly?
The powers of my kind.
I see.
A teacher of common sense. A teacher of etiquette. A teacher of proper protocol.
A teacher of etiquette. Now I'm intrigued.
You don't get as old as I am with outlearning a few things. By the way, out of character, he only looks like 24.
Mm. Yeah, well, Rose knows enough. That looks can be quite deceiving. Um, yeah. So etiquette. Well, maybe I'll have to follow some lessons from you then.
I'll be more than honored to teach you. And I have a gift for you. He'll reach into his pocket, grab a couple seeds. You'll see his hands start to shake to rub them together in his palm. He'll just slide them into one hand.
Sorry, you froze or I froze and
Okay, am I back?
yeah.
Okay. Basically, he took some seeds out of his pocket and he's rubbing them in between his hand, almost making like a ball shape. And he'll set out 3 small, what looks to be almost like twigs with the roots and leaves growing off of them.
Okay.
A gift for you, for your hospitality.
Rose looks towards these 3 things and she frowns, but you can't really tell because, well, a veil is still there because, yeah, she knows what her appearance can do to people. She kind of moves her head once again into the direction of these things. And, well, I thank you very much, but um, pray tell, what are these for?
Rose bushes for Rose. The put his
Ah,
hand, he'll have put his hand down, so each of the stems are basically between his fingers, and as they're sitting there, they'll start to grow more. Slowly, but they'll grow more.
mhm. Hmm.
Plant them in soil. They'll grow rather quickly and bloom every single time.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I've never taken care of something that was alive. I tend to look after knowledge
But knowledge is alive too.
in a
Knowledge,
different
yeah.
form.
Plant them in soil, they will grow. Water them every day.
How long will they be able to survive without soil?
A week.
In that case, I'm pretty sure I can find someone to actually get me some soil.
Stop by my shop.
I am not one to travel a lot, but I will think about it, or I will send someone.
That's all I ask.
Hmm. Well, Mr. Winterbourne, you are a very intriguing gentleman, but I do not want to impose on you any more questions.
You have 3 left.
3 left. I didn't know I had 4 to begin with.
Actually, you had 5.
And what would have happened if I would have asked the 6th question then?
For one that has given me access to such knowledge, I would not have denied you the answer. You have 2 left.
Hmm. You do know how to get a lady's curiosity roused, Mr. Winterbourne, I'll give you that. Questions. Which ones to pick? What are mages?
The benders of reality, the workers of the will, the rememberers of the old ways. Mages are the ones that are trying to reawaken magic in humans. Let them be able to feel what they saw and felt before.
Hmm. What they saw and felt before. You think that that humans once all were as powerful as you are, or as gifted, I should say.
There was a greater possibility back in the days. But the thing is, there was a belief back in the days of that man can do that. Why can't I do something else? Or if that woman's able to do that, why am I complaining about having to do this?
Mm. So, are you talking about a sense of community that has gone lost?
I do. That's part of the reason why I do what I do. Is that community, that alliance, that friendship that's been lost over time is due to the disconnection of technology and things.
Mm.
Mind you, yes, technology is helpful, but it saddens me to see if I see 100 people on the streets, 90 of them are head down into their phone looking at something.
Well, it is true that humans are blind to our society.
Right now, that's on purpose.
Mhm. I didn't say it was a bad thing. Hmm. But that's your reasons. I presume that other mages have different reasons.
They think they're different reasons, but in the long run, everyone has about the same reason why we do what we do.
Hmm. So there is a common goal.
In a way, yes.
Hmm. So that's what combines you, but what sets you apart then?
From a normal person, my ability to manipulate reality, I strive for higher knowledge than most people. My want for a better reality.
And amongst your own kind, what sets you apart? What are the differences?
I have the opportunity and the balls to step up and say, hey, this is what needs to be done. We should get it done.
And the others do not.
Apparently, before I came to New York, it was rare for mages to even talk to each other, much less gather in open discussions about things.
I see. Well, I guess that's a typical stance to take on things, I guess. A lot of non-humans have the urge to keep everything that they know to themselves in order to make sure no one can use any knowledge against them.
With the questions you've asked, I've been very forward and straight up with everything. You
Yes, I
haven't,
know.
you haven't asked about our weaknesses. You haven't asked about how to destroy us. You haven't asked about secret dark secrets and stuff like that. So
I wouldn't know what to ask at this point. There is no use in destroying something that you can learn more about. And since there's always more to learn, It's not necessarily that much to destroy straight away, unless there's no other option. Well, it's fair to give you a question in return, if you have one.
How did you know? Some of my kinds have unique abilities. Mine is that I can see. I can see your magic flowing around you. Duly noted, and thank you.
You're welcome. Well, Mr. Winterbourne, Farmer Mage, I do not wish to offend you, but I'm afraid I have other business to attend to as well.
I thank you for the extra time, the company, the coffee, and the knowledge.
If there is anything I can do for you, you have been polite enough. Let me know. And Rose will kind of go into one of her pockets and pull out a small piece of paper with some spots on it. Actually, it looks a little bit dirty, and she'll find a pen, just write an email address on the piece of paper, and hand it over to you.
He'll take it, put it in his pocket. If you ever have need of me, do not hesitate to ask.
I will, but don't worry. I think I won't need you. However, I'll come back at you with more questions, if that is okay.
Questions lead to answers, answers lead to more questions. I think I'll be seeing a lot of you.
Might very well be.
And maybe a little bit more of you.
Rose kind of cocks her head a little to the side. Want to see more of me?
If that's not against your religion, or for whatever you keep covered.
Hmm. I keep this covered because I do not want humans to be frightened.
I'm no human.
That is correct. Very well. Why not? And Rose will turn around and throws back the hood of the cape. Puts the veil backwards, and you will already see like the white hair, and then she'll turn around, and what you'll see is this almost glowing bluish kind of moonlight colored skin, and even that's not the strangest thing. It's the big black eyes, like alien like, that are just staring at you. No whites, no pupils, nothing, just black.
I appreciate the trust.
If you would do anything against it, that would be interesting. Don't break it, trust.
Have my number. Call me if you need me. Hell, call me if you just want me to answer some questions.
I think we'll have some very interesting conversations, Mr. Winterbourne. But as I said, I have other business to attend to at this point. Trying to work out how we defend our place. And I will show you the door. As the main entrance is it's already closed down for the night.
Something that might strike her odd is that she's seeing most humans wearing like the sweaters and hoodies and stuff like that, and he's just walking around in a t-shirt and jeans.
Duly noted. Goes in the small little book that she'll probably start keeping. It goes in your file. Let's say it like that. And Rose will walk you to the employees entrance. And actually, oh, sorry, it's getting late. Yeah. Actually, you'll see you'll see that she seems to remove some kind of a symbol crayon before actually opening the door.
Have a good
Well,
night.
likewise, Mr. Winterbourne. Let your nights and days be pleasant as always.
And you're finally realizing that you and he look eye to eye.
It's always nice to be able to look someone in the face. Thank you for that.
I agree. I shall take my leave. It has been a pleasure and an honor. And as I said, if you need anything of me, do not hesitate to call.
I won't. Thank you for your visit, and do come again.
I will. I definitely will.
And with that, Rose will close down the door, and you will hear some scribbling once again on the back of it.
I can see through you, see the real you. 'Cause inside you're ugly, ugly like me. I can see through you, see your true color. Alex will walk off, smiling.
And with that, we will end the scene. Everybody, thank you for watching. This was a scene of New York by Night crossover, as you can tell, from Mages and Camarilla venue. Have a nice night.
Night, everybody.